Okay, happy Memorial Day, everybody. This was New Washington by President for Phil in North Carolina. So I've done the fan installation for you there. This is your radio here. This is your little Mars modification. This is your microphone that you ordered with it. And this is the little box for the microphone. So you'll get the DigiMic free from President. I'll have them send that to you. I'm going to put those in the box. That's just the packs for the fans. And we'll get this thing aligned really quick and show you the power and stuff like that. And then it'll get boxed up and be heading to you tomorrow. One thing on this mic, when you use it, you really don't have to run it much past about the V on the volume. And what I mean by that is there's a little indicator there. I just line that up with that V somewhere in there. It doesn't have to go any higher than that. When you turn the radio on, have the mic type in dynamic type for this mic, because this is a battery powered mic, so that extra voltage that's sent out with the EL circuit on, you don't need that, and it can actually do more harm than good. Okay, here's the sideband. It's about 22, which is perfect. Just a slight improvement from the factory. Factory, it's almost 60 watts RMS on sideband. I think that's too much. 60 watts RMS doesn't make it look really nice and rounded and smooth. So that looks perfect. So that's better. I don't know what it is on peak with the two-tone, but that doesn't really matter either. It's about 46. So let's put a microphone on here really quick. We'll put the NM532, and I'll take a quick peek at the sideband power. So the sideband power is still going to be about 80 watts. So that's what the radio is supposed to do. And again, that's about what they always do, even after the little bit of a cleanup on the sideband signal. They still do good. This mic works really good with these radios. So again, don't really have to have it much higher than that. And although that sticker is in the front of the display, you can still see it's pretty much showing full deflection there, and we're seeing the right amount of power there for the most part too. So we're looking good. AM, everything's perfect there as far as the modulation goes and stuff like that. That's how it looks on sideband. This is upper side for transmission here, so it looks good. Not hogging up the band or anything like that. AM on this, it's going to be with the RF power all the way up. When you key up, it's going to be 16. If you lower it, it'll go all the way down to 1, and then anywhere in between. So I'm going to leave it about 16. You can see the fans are, I don't know if you can see, but maybe you can hear, I don't know. The fans are running right now. I have it set to run all the time. There's about 16 right there, so just adjust that microphone up a little bit. And there's your peak envelope power on AM right there. So, and I'm not going to scream and yell and stuff like that, but it's doing good. That's how it looks there on peak envelope power with the AM signal. So really nice. Not super aggressive, but you know, still sounds really good. Let's lower this down to about level 5 just to see. At level 5, there's about a 6 watt carrier, so you lose some top end obviously with the lower carrier, and you're still getting upwards of, you know, 25-30 watts peak. You can see a little bit of a difference there we've dropped. So this is not using the power limitation feature. There's also that in the radio, but I'm not going to cover that on this video. I did set it to 1, 4, 8, and then with it off it's 16. So that's with your RF power up all the way on all those power limitation settings. So low power on this radio, 4 watts. 1 watt carrier, and with peak envelope power we're seeing upwards of 6, 7, 8, 9 watts. So it's pretty good for what it is, you know. For a low carrier, it still does pretty good. You know, you got to figure you know, 4 times the carrier is about 100% modulation. So as you can see, it's got pretty good audio from the low carrier, so not really anything to complain about. Some guys might want more aggressive, and if that's the case, then you know there's other radios out there that'll give you more aggressive, but sometimes being aggressive doesn't always mean the signal's as clean as some might want. So there's always a trade-off there with anything. I wish these had the NOAA weather function. I don't believe that they do. I wish they would have kept that from the George USA version. I would have liked to see NOAA weather on this, although it doesn't have it, I don't believe. So when you go to sideband, if you look in your user's manual, there'll be different colored lights here based on what you press here. There's a R, a T, a R and T, and an off. So all that stuff still remains from some of your older, like your Lincoln 2 pluses and stuff, where guys like to run the R and T. Some guys, I do have your span function on right now, so you can kind of see where the radio's going from the bottom to the top. This is my preferred way to run the radio, but some people may not like it, because this way you're not skipping around with the band function. You can just go wherever you want to go quickly just by using the span, the little line. Actually, there isn't a line, it's just a number blinking. So but you can go in whatever step size you want. So I think it works well. I'm going to leave that function on for you. I'm also gonna, I did name the band for you too, so we're good there. Obviously it doesn't really look like what I made it say, but it is. It's supposed to be a B there. So I'm gonna leave the fans on for you too. When you get a chance, if you don't want them to run constantly, you can go into this setting here and turn them up. I think if you turn them up past 30, let's see where they kick back on. And they kick back on. Sometimes it takes it a second for the circuit to engage. I'm going to leave it at 30. That's Celsius, but when you key up, it'll be in Fahrenheit. So I wish they would have a menu switch when you switch this. I wish it would switch automatically to Fahrenheit there as well, but it doesn't. So we have to kind of be mindful of what Celsius is. 20, 30, 40, 50 degrees. It's a lot more in Fahrenheit. That's all I know. So the radio's working fine. We'll just do a quick receiver check and then get you boxed up and heading your way tomorrow. I do got your radio set to the dynamic. That's that. So if you want to run the mic, yours is still sealed and packed, but if you want to run this mic for any reason, switch it back to EL. Same with that Digi mic when you get that free. If you decide to use that, just switch it back. When you go back to this mic, switch it back to DY, or any other mic if you happen to use like one of these adapters with the radio or something. If you have something wired 4-pin, any other mic, just leave it in the DY setting. So we'll just do the signal to noise test on this one. So it's about 127 and it's about 12 right there, so perfect. Okay, and here's AM on this one, so it's about minus 113 right here, and there's 12 right there, so it's looking good there too. Obviously, you know, 30% modulation, you would hear someone a lot louder if they were running 100% modulation. So, but the test requires, you know, around 30%, so that's where it's at. Okay, Phil, we got you all set. I filled out one of the cards there, so I always try to fill those out. And this one I don't fill out, but it's just a bit like the business one, so I include those. I got some new ones coming for this. Still got a bunch of these though, so I won't be sending out the new ones. Obviously I don't have them yet, but when they come, they're gonna look a little bit different. I do like this one though too, so, but I have a whole big stack of those still, so I may run out of these sooner than later, but anyways, we'll put these in the box with your radio. I got a welcome surprise. Somebody sent me one of their cards back, so that was pretty cool. It's actually still out in the car, out in my visor, but I need to bring it in and add it to the wall here of all the stuff that I have, and I will do that. And when I do that, I'll thank them when I show that I put it up there. So, yep, we'll get this Washington heading your way. 73. Thanks.